Alright, so it's Mikey here, day one on our hiking expedition. I think we're gonna go about 9 miles, right, Dan?
Sure.
I think it's 9 miles. Well, yeah, 9 miles. So I got Mondo here as well, Daniel. So we're gonna follow that river right there. That's a river. And yeah, we'll see you on day 2. Alright, so it's day 2 on our hiking exhibition. There's the river we spoke of on day 1. Yesterday, made it about a mile and a half. Mondo caught a fish, and he almost fell through, so it was a close one. So, yeah, it's going good. We'll see you on day 3. Alright, so day 3, Mondo fell in head first trying to get a fish in the river. We ended up finding the Skidoo trail here, so we're going to follow it, try and get him to a safer spot.
We think Armando might have some hypothermia, so we're going to do some tests here, and we're going to figure out what kind he has. So Armando.
So, you're shivering right now. Can you stop shivering?
Stop shivering, Armando.
Okay, so he can stop shivering. So he has mild. Try and do up your coat. Okay.
Okay. Armando, what do you have to say about all this?
Very cold. Here's a water bottle. And the chocolate bar.
Here's a chocolate bar, dude. So we're going to get you out of the cold here. We're going to put you under some trees so we can get you out of the cold. And to prevent further heat loss.
He's wearing my coat because his coat is too wet, and when a coat gets wet or any clothing gets wet, you have to take it off because it's just warmer not to have it on.
And we're going to get him to get up and do some exercising soon.
Yeah.
We're going to get him to do some jumping jacks and yada yada yada. Make sure you don't litter there, Armando. Respect the environment. So yeah, we'll see you in a bit.
Day 3, still. Got Armando under a tree, a little bit warmed up, he's still shivering a bit. We're going to get him to run around now that he's eaten the chocolate bar and drank a little bit. Alright, so Mondo, let's get moving here, get you warmed up a little bit, and then we'll try and get you out of here, buddy. Alright, let's get you going a little bit here. Just easy, easy, easy. Easy.
He's going to fumble. He has mild hypothermia.
Alright, turn around, Armando. Let's just do this in one spot. This will be a little easier. Alright, do some jumping jacks. Come on. Come on, you gotta do it more than that. There you go.
Get your core body temperature up there, bud.
Are you a little warmed up now?
A little bit.
Alright, let's get you out of this bush here and get you to a safer spot. So we just got out of the trail. Mondo's hypothermia is getting worse, so we're going to get him to a hospital. I'm not sure exactly what town we are in or where exactly we are, but I'm going to try and get some directions and get Armando to the hospital, so yeah.
So we got Armando to the hospital, and I think he's doing pretty good. Turns out he had frostbite as well, so the doctors are going to treat him for that as well, but the doctors told us he had mild hypothermia, which is not that bad. And he just had a bit of frostbite, so
frost nip, I think it was.
Yeah, frost nip. Yeah. He will be fine. We made it out. Turns out we're in the town of Wawa, Ontario, somewhere in Canada, and so we're gonna get him out of here as soon as we can. Head back. So that was our trip.
Hike
Hike thing.
That's the word. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Goodbye.
It's a pretty sweet fire you got there, Mondo.
Yeah. Ah!
Holy shit, are you okay?
Yeah.
Let's get back to the cabin and treat that.
Okay. I think I'm good now.
No, actually, no. Put your hands back in because the tissues on the inside are still burning. So you need to keep your hand under the water for from 10 to 15 minutes for them to completely be cold.
20 minutes later.
think I'm good now.
Yep. The tissue seems fine, or should be fine now.
Okay, so let's get some ointment on you, and then put some gauze on you. You should be good.
Okay.
So we're gonna put some burn ointment on your finger there. This one right here, right?
Yep.
You cleaned that, right?
Yes.
So it's all clear debris and all that. Okay.
How long do I have to stay like this?
For I don't know, a few hours, maybe overnight if you're gonna sleep. But that's all good. You're good though, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure why that was there. Anyways, today on Mike and Doe's Breaking Bones show, yeah, I'm gonna talk about we're gonna talk about stable injuries. With stable injuries, you don't have to worry about checking CSM or anything like that. You just gotta worry about rice. Not that Chinese rice, no.
Oh no.
Rest, ice, compression. What's that one?
Elevation.
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 So, in rice, it's rest, ice for 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, compression, and elevation above the heart. Less blood flow.
Injuries, you might want to know, how to prevent them or what to do to limit your further injury. Well, one of those things you can do is pain-free activities or some pain medication, you know what I mean? So,
how about we tell the people how to tell between a stable and unstable injury?
sure.
Well, to tell the difference between a stable and unstable injury, you have quite a bit of pain. You should be able to tell. A normal person will be able to tell if they have a broken bone or not. It'll be very tender. Swelling will be much more than normal. Well, there's no swelling at all normal. So it'll be discolored, bruising. That means it's bleeding from the inside. That's always fun. Decreased in range of motion, quite like my shoulder. I can only go about that high. And sounds of popping, snapping, and crackling. And good.
Okay. So now we're going to tell you how to check CSM. CSM stands for circulation, sensation, and motor. So to go in more in depth, circulation is checking for capillary refill. So if you have your thumb and you push in, you notice how it turns white. If you let go and it turns red again, that's good. Next, sensation. Yeah, ensure they have sensation to your injury. So if you broke your arm right here, right? If you thought your arm was broken right here, if you can't feel down up here, up there, everywhere, that's not good. You need to...
Yeah, you have to reset it. So if your arm's bent this way, you have to slowly pull it out, turn it back to the way you want it, and reset it.
And then check that again. Check if you have sensation. If you have sensation, you're good.
And make sure you don't pull too hard because you can just ruin it, like just ruin your arm.
Finally, we have motor, and that is ensuring they have some range of movement to the injury. So, for example, if your leg was injured, if you can bear weight on it, that's a good thing. If you can't, then you have a motor injury for CSM. So next, we are going to talk about effective splinting, the 3 C's. Effective splinting. Effective splinting should meet the following criteria, or should follow the 3 C's. It should be complete, comfortable, and compact. So complete means, effective stabilization. If you have unstable joints, you should immobilize the long bone above and below. But if you have unstable long bones, you should be immobilizing the joint above and below. Next, we have comfortable. So it's well padded and durable. It's well molded, so it's comfortable and nice. And it maintains support over long, difficult evacuations. So if you're in the bush for 3 hours and you have to get out, it's not going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to cause further damage to your bone. Finally, we have compact, with an appropriate size and bulk. Next, we're going to do materials to use for splinting.
Materials to use for splinting. First aid kit contents. Splits, splints, triangular bandages, slings. Secondly, natural materials, sticks. Outdoor gear, clothing, paddles, stove parts, utensils, backpack frames. Be creative, but be reasonable. Remember, the person needs to be properly careful.
Still talking, Armando?
Into a bionic superhero.
Perfect. That's pretty much it, Mike. I think we're done for the show that I don't even remember what it's called. So, good. All right.
That's it. Then what?
Yeah.